Callisto Grand.
Good morning, credit controllers, cash foxes, and coffee clubbers. Let's kick off your Thursday. I'm Stefan, Unvisible, streaming live from Hamburg. And with me today, as usual, is Mark, founder and CEO of Callisto. Good morning, sir.
Good morning for a bright and sunny Budapest.
That's good. So let me, for this time, maybe fix my camera problem.
Yes.
And while you are just talking, okay?
Yes. All right. I can. I think I will tell you about the book I'm reading at the moment. I'm reading a super book on anti-gravity, but and I just cannot put it down. Right, so that's today's bad joke for you. There you go.
Actually, that's funny because most overdue invoices seem to defy gravity too. They just keep floating around. And this is exactly what we will talk about today, how to stop maybe late payments. But first of all, what it is about late payments in the first place, where do they come from, and so on. So let me check again if I will be visible or not right now.
There you are.
I am.
You are.
Is it working?
Yep.
Because I can't see myself, but no problem.
In rehearsals, it was perfect. Live. This is live. See, proving that we're absolutely live.
Okay. Let's talk about, let's say, our February program, because it's our last Espresso in February. So the February was all about knowledge and learning. So we started from data to information. Maybe you remember this nice pyramid. Then we got further from knowledge even to wisdom. We talked about the AI Knowledge Hub, Cali. And today it's most of all to wrap up this month and start led with the
into March.
Outlook on March, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about late payment, right? So what's your view on late payment? Is it the most important thing in order to cash, or is this something that's not on top of the list? I know it's a rhetorical question, but
I think late payments or percentage overdue should always be the holy grail. In Callisto, we say there should never be more than 2.5% overdue, total overdue, as in one day. And it's important, particularly in these unsettled times we live in now, to not take for granted that how we did things in the past is how we do things now and in the future. To understand the causes, the trends, and the solutions. And that's very much what we're going to be looking at in Callisto through March.
Exactly. And in exactly that order. So let's start with taking a look into how's the situation in Europe, actually. So it's like a credit control reality check. And there is an annual report from the European Commission. It's called the EU Payment Observatory Annual Report. And if you want to dive into that maybe a little deeper, scan the QR code and you get straight to this document. There are some additional documents like an analysis, a fact sheet summary, and so on. But it's an interesting one. I think it's worth reading, and it's on an annual basis, so you can even compare it to the years before. So let's dive a little bit deeper into that. So, or like a reality check regarding payment delays, especially delays in payments and trends in Europe. And there are, we took 5 findings from that. The first one is that we crossed a line. Now more than half of the companies that took part in this survey, they report that they have issues resulting from late payments. And this is really alarming. So the increase is reported in 19 of the member states, and the worst affected ones were Poland, Czech Republic, and Luxembourg, and the least affected one were the Netherlands and Bulgaria. Netherlands, for me, not surprising. They are best in class when it comes to payment delays. There are just a few days delay. But Bulgaria, was surprising for me, actually. So this is for sure alarming. That it's more than half of the companies reporting it. But there has been a change in the length and the structure of the payments periods as well. So we already are across 60 days for payment periods in average. And I think it's 60 point something for B2B payments, and it's nearly 70. I think 69.8 for government to business payments. And this is, so not only surprising, it's really disappointing, because I think it's the EU that drives us, or want to drive us into a max of 30 days payment period, which is surprising that they are the worst payers overall, right? The third one, there are huge differences from a structural point of view when it also comes to the company size. So in a nutshell, the larger the company is that has to pay your invoice, the later they will pay. And this is, first of all, because they might have negotiated longer payment terms, for sure, but it's also quite often regarding the payment delay, which is, not surprising, but it's that's a bad thing, right? And there are huge differences, even if you compare industry sectors and countries. As I said, the Netherlands, they are really best in class when it comes to payment delays, whereas Portugal is the worst currently. And if you compare both of them, I think Portugal has 10 times the payment delay of the Netherlands. That's not good. Retail and agriculture, from a industry sector point of view, are frequently among the least punctual sectors. And for example, with construction, this is completely different from country to country. So in some countries, they are the best, nearly best in class, and they are the worst in others. So there is no clear view on the industry sectors.
But always construction is a huge economic driver. It's also always very volatile, isn't it? Very unstable sector.
Yeah.
In every country, I think.
So overall, and this is a huge part of the report as well, there is already a strong economic impact. And I think they calculated that it's, we could have 100 billion euro available from if we get the delays down to zero, right? And this is roughly the GDP of Bulgaria, by the way. So this is not just a small number. This is really 100 billion is quite a lot.
We researched this, didn't we? What this 100 billion equates to, and if you put it in those terms, like you said, it's the GDP of Bulgaria. 2 or 3 other countries, Slovakia was similar. And when you think of all the strain on, increasing taxes and all the things that we see all the time, health services and so on, if everybody paid everybody on time, a lot of these stresses and strains would reduce. And this is part of the cascading we're talking about, isn't it? And
absolutely. Because I think 1/3 of the companies are saying they are already starting to paying their vendors later because their customers are late with their payments. And this is this cascading thing that's then we are, let's say, nearly on an exponential curve. So therefore, we have to do something.
And just to finish on this bit very quickly, see, all these things are connected. The big companies start paying the smaller companies later. Governments are paying later. So it's no surprise then you've got an increase in late payments and distressed businesses. It's there's a cause and effect all the way down. The domino effect, you can see it, and us being a small business, we feel this like everybody else. We get paid later, and then we have to look at paying our suppliers later as well. This is the reality, and you look at and you think about this in practical terms. I was thinking, like, big supermarkets and farmers. This is another area. Big supermarkets pay the farmers later, and then you wonder why so many farmers and so on are going out of business. Right? It's the solution. The root causes are there, and the solutions are there as well. Right? And it's down to all of us, I think, to be aware of this and to push back a little bit as well.
Yeah, but we have to, let's say, take a closer look into what kind of categories we really have to treat differently. And yeah, to make it very simple, every overdue invoice falls into one of these two categories. On the right-hand side, the disputed invoices, not necessarily already overdue. So there you have at least a reason. Maybe it's not the right, maybe someone just claims that there's something wrong. But anyway, you have something to work on. Whereas on the left pile, which is, by the way, the larger pile, you don't know anything, right? Or you can assume maybe AI will help with the segmentation, but these are just overdue and you have to deal with them. So on the disputed ones, the wrong treatment is, of course, still right dunning letters. So collections is not the right tool or the right process for that. We are talking about, resolutions, right? So service excellence, customer service, that's what's necessary here. So going back to this large pile here on the left, even this pile needs to be put into different, let's call them categories, or in this case, sectors. So there are just two things that are driving undisputed invoice or the overdues of these invoices, which is the ability to pay. That's the x-axis here. So are your customers able to pay the invoice? And the intent to pay, because that's a different thing. Are they willing to pay? And guess what? In the upper right quadrant, you really find, this is the place where the most workload sits. So this is, although there's a high ability to pay and a high intent to pay, still you're not getting paid in time. So you have overdue invoices and you have to do something about this. This is friction. There is resulting behavior from that. Might be manual payment runs, might be bottlenecks in approval processes, like we discussed last time. No PO number, this takes additional time. Or simply forgotten invoices. How can that happen, right? So this is the process issue. It's not something where collection will help. You need to, let's say, maybe change the design, change the process. Because collections is where there is a low intent to pay, whether it's combined with a low ability to pay. This is really the danger zone on the lower left. So this is where you need the right credit risk assessment over and over again. And of course, strong real collections. And the same with there's a low intent to pay, but although there's a high ability to pay. Maybe your customers in this sector are trying to optimize their working capital strategy by just paying later, right? So
can pay, won't pay.
Here as well, you need collections, you need to educate them, you need to get them back on track. But there's a fourth sector on the upper left, which we described as the cash flow constraint sector. But again, when there's a high intent to pay, it's not about collections itself. It's more to get into a dialogue with your customers to find a commercial solution for that, because it might be temporary. So if you help your customer here, maybe they will become the most loyal customers in the end. So I know this is simplifying the things, but it helps to, let's say, structure possible approaches to solve this problem of overdue invoices. This is where we stop right now. We will dive deeper into that, and maybe already also taking
for March. Very much all of this.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. We will run through that through March. Next time we will maybe take you on a short tour about the evolution of credit control, how it started and how we ended up in the situation that we just described here. But at the 19th of March, we will even have a credit clinic in partnership with Twicky regarding solutions. So
Looking forward to that very much.
by design. And of course, we will cover that during the Credit Matters conference mid of May. Maybe you already seen that there is a PDF available with all the program and additional informations and so on. So maybe it's yeah. Any?
No, I think that this is where Callisto, being a training company, to upskill, develop, assist everybody working in credit control, collections, and so on. This is where we are here to support you to overcome these late payment issues and to be proactive. So, looking forward to seeing you again next week, when we will continue this discussion, go into it in looking at different aspects. So, Stefan, thanks again for great preparation there, and yeah. Follow us on LinkedIn. We look forward to seeing you all again very soon.
So, yeah, thank you, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.